You can't expect to run faster if you don't ever push the pace in training. Now, I'm not saying you need to head out the door and do all of your runs quicker and quicker. It's about finding that correct balance and having a nice variety in your training. Well, today we're here at the campus at Quinta de Lagos to look at how you can train to increase your running speed. In order to become a faster runner, you're going to have the full package covered. That's looking at strength, fitness, technique, recovery, and of course, the speed work. But just because today we are honing in on the speed work, you need to remember to look at the whole package. Anyway, now onto the fun bit, running fast. In order to run faster, you've either got to increase your stride length or increase the speed of your legs, or ideally a combination of both. And you'll find naturally that as you do start to run quicker, your stride's probably going to get longer. That's not something you need to focus on. Instead, you need to focus on moving those legs faster. In other words, upping your cadence. And we've got a few fun drills to get those legs moving a little bit quicker. And after this, we'll be moving on to some sessions. The simple ones are often the best. This doesn't really need much of an intro. The idea is getting your knees nice and high, but I want the focus to be on the speed of that leg drive and the speed of your legs. And you can use your arms if you want, because after all, when you're running, you would naturally be using your arms. Now, to keep the intensity right, I want you to do a maximum of 20 seconds at a time, so you can really focus on that drive and take enough rest that you can make sure you can concentrate on the quality here, not the quantity. And ideally, you want your feet on the ground for the minimum time possible. We've got two very different types of skipping here, which are actually going to work on different aspects of improving your running speed. So the first one, jump rope, or as we call it here in the UK, skipping with a rope, is very much working on reducing your ground contact time, so the time that your feet are on the ground, encouraging fast feet basically. So for this, you want to increase the speed of the rope and try to do really quick and really light movements. So yeah, you're just getting everything firing nice and fast. It's quite a simple one to do. Make sure you do it in short bursts so they're really intense and you take plenty of rest. Now the next one is skipping in a forward motion, which is often associated with joy and just happiness, but it is actually going to be working on your glute firing, on your knee drive, and your general running power. So it's ticking a lot of boxes, but the real key here is to be focusing on height of each skipping stride as opposed to distance forwards. You're trying to go up, you want to use your arms, and you can actually use your opposite arm to reach up to the sky, which is going to help to sort of emphasize that upwards drive. This drill, when you do it well, is actually really tiring. So make sure you just do a few skips like this at a time, then maybe jog it out in the middle and then go back up, really emphasizing on the drive and the height. Faster feet is going to encourage faster running, and this drill is specifically focusing on that. So if you do have a rope ladder, that is perfect. Don't worry if you don't, you can improvise. You can use marks in paving slabs or even get some chalk, or purely your imagination. And the idea is you're going to run through over these lines, picking your feet up fairly high, but mainly trying to get your feet through as fast as you can. And when you get to the end of the ladder or end of that stretch, I want you to then stride out into sort of a fast of 20, 30 meters while still keeping that speed of your feet. The final drill for today is the wall drive, and this is really kind of helping work on your power. So find a wall, stand with your arms out in front, and then take a step a little bit further back so you're leaning into it. And you're basically trying to sort of replicate high knees in a more of a sprinter style. So you're leaning, trying to push the wall over. Keep this nice and intense, so 20 to 30 seconds. And it's really going to get those glutes firing as you're trying to sort of push yourself forwards. And it's quite nice to do this drill for that sort of time and then go and try and run some strides or run a little bit faster off, because you'll feel really good when the wall's suddenly not there. Incorporating some faster running with strong form is a no-brainer, and this is where strides come in. So 80 to 100 meters of running quicker than race pace at a pretty solid pace is used by all the professional runners ahead of races and also key sessions. It's an opportunity for you sort of to open up and just feel fast, feel good. Yes, you are going quicker than your race pace, but there's a reason for that. You're not going to be able to maintain it, but once you do a few of these strides and you come back to whatever pace you are training at or you're running at, you're going to feel really good. It's going to feel really easy. So experiment with these strides either ahead of a key session or maybe even at the end of a long or a steady run, as it's just going to get you feeling good and getting used to moving faster. Remember to use your arm drive. Keep your shoulders and chest open and run tall. Again, like the earlier drills, quality is key here. There's no point in doing strides unless you're fully committed and you're going all in. And then take a brisk walk or an easy jog in between each set. All right, it's time to take a look at some sessions that are going to help you improve your overall running speed. First up, we've got fartlek, and this translates directly as speed play. It means changing your speed that you're running at in a very natural way. So in theory, you're supposed to just sort of increase your speed when it feels comfortable, when it sort of lends itself to the terrain or the run you're on. In reality, that can be quite hard to sort of run without structure. So we've actually developed a little bit of a guide just to help you get started. Okay, start with a 10-minute easy jog and then have 5 minutes where you're gradually increasing your pace from an easy jog, say 3 out of 10, up to around your 10k pace or an 8 out of 10, and follow that with a 2-minute easy jog, leading you into the main block. And this is 5 lots of 3 minutes running at your 10k pace, 2 minutes easy jog, and then finish it up with a 10-minute easy jog just to get you home. And this is just a guide, but do feel free to adapt it to suit the terrain or how you're feeling. And once you've got a bit more confidence, you can play around with adapting it. Now, I know everything we've talked about so far is about increasing your speed, but the actual speed work itself is the most obvious. And you're going to be running faster than race pace, so you'll need plenty of rest for a session like this so you can really deliver this increased intensity. Now, ideally, you want to find a running track or a flat field. If you don't have anything like this, just find the flattest route possible. And it's really important to have a really comprehensive warm-up when you're doing any kind of speed work. Not only because it's going to help you unlock that speed, but also it's going to hopefully prevent or at least reduce the chance of getting injured. And we've got a simple yet effective session for you to have a try at. So the main set is 8 lots of 400 meters running hard. So an 8 out of 10 for the perceived effort, taking 90 seconds of full rest. And play around with this. You can change the number of reps to suit you, make it shorter if you're ready for more speed. Note the rest is rest. You're not jogging for this. Ideally, just keep moving, but at a walk. And you're going to be working harder, so you'll need a full recovery in order to keep that pace up. Intervals. Now, I use this term quite lightly, as in my mind, it covers anything that involves more than one change of pace. Surely that is an interval, as long as you're always moving forwards and the recovery is some kind of jog. Well, the 30-30 session is a perfect example of intervals and one that is great for improving your speed. So for this, you need to do a little bit of maths first. You need to work out your 3k pace, or if you want to push it to the slightly slower end, your 5k pace, and then calculate how far you would cover running at that pace for 30 seconds. Well, that is going to be your target distance and your target pace for the 30 on. Now the 30 off is going to be half of that. That's your recovery pace. So you're running half the distance, half the speed. Basically, you're going to run at that target pace for 30 seconds, then straight into 30 seconds at half of that pace, and you repeat this continually. If you can, start off aiming to complete 16 sets of this or 16 minutes of this and build as the weeks go on. Well, if you don't want to measure out an area, then you could just prefer to do this as part of a run. Pick a flat route where you can set your watch to beep every 30 seconds. You're just going to have to make sure you keep an eye and you're hitting the right pace. Well, as you can see, there are multiple areas that you're going to need to work on if you want to increase your run speed. It's all going to be about consistency and putting in some hard work, but it will be worth it, trust me. Well, good luck with your speed workouts. Give us a like if you've enjoyed it. Hit that globe to subscribe, and you can also follow us on our social media.